guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go over what I pack in my hospital stay bag as a chronic illness patient. Okay, so I have several chronic illnesses. I have Mycotoxin Disease, POTS, which stands for Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia Syndrome, EDS, which stands for Ehlers Danlos Syndrome. I have several issues with my spine, osteoarthritis, spinal stenosis, minor spinal cord injury, and I have osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia, mast cell activation syndrome, a lot of issues which unfortunately land me in the hospital every so often. So I like to be prepared so that way when I rush to the hospital in an emergency situation, which it usually is, I will be prepared, because generally I end up in the hospital and then I have to call my mom or someone I love and tell them, hey, can you raid my closet and get this and get that? So this is just makes it easier for everyone. Just this year alone, I've had, I think, 5 admissions, so I've realized I need to be prepared for the next time it comes up. Oh, these lights are on. So I'm going to start off with something fun. Last time I was in the hospital, I brought my starlights from home. It was kind of a long stay. Well, not really. It was like a week, but it was long enough for me to miss little comforts from home, like my starlights. My mom put them up behind my hospital bed, and every single person that walked in the room loved them. All the nurses just brought so much joy to everyone. So this was really fun to have, and it just made my hospital room feel more like my room. That it brought a smile to everyone that came in the room, so that was really good to have. So anytime I'm in the hospital, I get really sick. So even though they have plenty of these sick bags in the hospital, it's always good to have some extra on hand because I go through them pretty fast sometimes, and then there isn't always a nurse available to bring me one when I need one, like stat. So I just have this with me for when I need it. Got my little bear Seppi. You see he has a port and a PICC line too. So when I had sepsis last month, I had an infected port, and I unfortunately had to fight for my life when it became septic. Thankfully I'm okay. I now have a PICC line because I still have a blood clot in my port. But I was given this little bear and I named him Seppi. It's always good to have a little comforting friend in the hospital to hold on to when you're feeling really, really bad. And honestly, I have one at home too, but always got to have this in the hospital. It brings a lot of comfort. Of course, we need clothes, so whenever I'm feeling well enough to change out of my hospital gown, which I really don't like to be in that gown unless I have to be, and they generally don't make you wear the gowns unless you're going to go under like a procedure or some sort of testing. So I always have clothes with me, you know, some leggings, some comfortable tops, you know, camis, a lot of camis, and of course gotta have some underwear. So got a few pairs of underwear in here. Just put them in this little thing for some more discretion. And also some socks. So the hospital has some awesome socks, but I like to change into my fun socks. Anyone who knows me knows I collect socks and I love socks. So I get bored with the fun hospital socks. I have my little bag with my my self-care items. So I have some shampoo and conditioner. So basically, I generally don't shower when I'm in the hospital because I'm just feeling too sick. But if I stay there long enough, I usually will have a nurse help me shower. So I do bring some little shower items like shampoo and conditioner, because although they have it there, I just prefer to bring my own. Got some deodorant, vegan deodorant cream. Got some vegan strawberry floss, which I love, and of course toothpaste and a toothbrush. Again, they have that there as well, but I just like to have my own. So got my little unicorn bag. Hairbrush, also necessary. My hair gets so tangly in the hospital because I usually go days and days without brushing it. So when I'm well enough, or when I have my mom over, she'll brush my hair. Of course, I gotta have my phone charger because obviously you get really bored in the hospital. So I like to be on my phone. Speaking of boredom, I usually bring along with me a couple things to do. I bring my planner because even in the hospital, I always have phone calls to make and appointments to make. So my nifty planner comes along with me, and that way I can make appointments from the hospital and do what I have to do. This is a little gratitude journal that I have. So I like to just keep this with me and write down things that I'm grateful for every day. To be honest, I don't do it every day, but I do it as often as I can. It's just really nice to have in the hospital because obviously the hospital is not a fun place to be. And you know, you're really, really sick and you're surrounded by a lot of people who are really sick. So it really helps to stay focused on things that make you happy and things that are going well. So I always take this with me to the hospital and just write down each day things that I'm grateful for. I'll read off just a couple, just as an example. Just opening it to a random page here. So for example, on September 9th, I was grateful for feeling a little better today than I was the past couple days. My fevers have been getting better. I was able to eat today. My doctors here in the hospital stay are really great. My heating pad, my nurses, my mama. Okay, yeah, you get it. Yeah, this gratitude journal always comes along with me to the hospital, and I usually bring a book. I love to read, although since I'm sick, I have pretty bad attention span, and I think mainly it's just because of brain fog and being distracted by all my symptoms. But when I am able to read, I do that. It's a good thing to do to keep yourself distracted. I always bring activities to do when I'm well enough, like coloring. I love to color in my spare time, so when I'm in the hospital and I'm well enough to, I color and paint. And very important thing that I cannot forget, heating pad. I always bring a spare heating pad because they don't have them in the hospital. They just have these little teeny tiny heat packs that last for maybe an hour max, and then they lose their heat. Also, they have like a spare, like they can't, they have a limited amount. So I would just keep asking for more and more, and that doesn't work. So that's why I always bring a spare heating pad with me. This is my little one. I usually bring my big one. They always have to have it like checked out by like an electrician and basically approved to make sure it's safe enough when I arrive to the hospital. It always freaks me out because they're like, we need to make sure that you're allowed to have that. And I'm like, oh, no, don't take away my heating pad. I need it. Also, I always bring a blanket from home just to stay warm and cozy. And, you know, the hospital blankets are just kind of rough and just thin and not the best. So I always bring a hospital blanket from home. And if I'm going to stay there for a while, I will bring a pillow. Again, the hospital pillows are also not the most comfortable. So yeah, I just feel a lot more like I'm at home when I have my pillow and my blanket. It's always hard to sleep in the hospital, so that helps a lot. So I have some snacks in here, some baby food, since again I'm usually very sick in the hospital and I can't eat. I bring food that's easier to digest, like baby food, and my mom will bring smoothies. Anyone who has been to the hospital a lot knows hospital food is the worst. It needs to get better. It's not fresh. It's also extremely hard when you have a lot of food allergies and intolerances like I do. I can't eat basically more than half of the menu at the hospital, so I have loved ones bring food, and I always come prepared with snacks like the baby food and with things like this, little energy bites, energy bars, you know, protein bars, things like that. That's like healthy and nutritious. It's always good to have on hand. And I take some catheters. I have neurogenic bladder, so I have to use catheters in order to pee as needed. So especially when I'm at my sickest and flared up and in the hospital. So I always bring these because the hospital's catheters, let's just say, are not the most comfortable. They're really long and big, and they're just not my favorite, so I always have some spare ones. Usually I bring my speakers too to listen to music, but my speakers or my headphones just recently broke. I call them speakers. I'm so foggy today. But yeah, that's basically what I bring. Just some things to keep me distracted in the hospital, some spare clothes, and self-care items, and my little bear Seppi. Also, I almost forgot, I generally bring some meds with me because although the hospital has all the meds in the world, they actually don't have all of the meds that I'm on. Because I'm on some compounded meds, I have to bring those with me, and then the nurses keep them in the nurses station and then bring them to me as needed. So like vitamins or compounded medicines, I always bring those. Of course, they always do an inventory checklist when you get there to see what you have, so I always have to give my meds to the nurses, like I said, since they don't allow you to keep them when you're there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I take with me. I try to be low maintenance. I'm a pretty low maintenance person. Anyway, if you guys like this video, give it a like, and please subscribe to see more videos like this. Thanks, guys.